Welcome to SPS's monthly Kidnap, Ransom and Extortion report. As we close the first quarter of 2025, we take a comprehensive look at the KRE landscape. In this edition, we analyse the key threat actors and emerging trends across Latin America, Africa and the Middle East. In a time of heightened geopolitical volatility, the KRE landscape is not immune to global shifts. This report provides valuable insights from SPS on the current state and future trajectory of KRE crimes across three pivotal regions. Looking first to Latin America, where kidnapping and extortion risk remains prominent, driven by rebel groups, state actors, and most prominently, powerful criminal networks. Criminal threat actors remain the overwhelming contributors to Latin America's KRE threat landscape and perhaps its defining feature relative to other regions. Notably, 8 transnational groups, including 6 of Mexico's cartels, have been designated as foreign terrorist organizations by the US and Canada, making ransom payments illegal and potentially increasing the risk of harm for victims. In addition, non-state armed actors, such as Colombia's ELN paramilitary group, have resumed kidnappings after a brief halt, while groups like the Zapatistas in Mexico and Sendero Luminoso in Peru may escalate abductions as they come under pressure from expanding criminal factions. Facing a fragile political and economic landscape, intensifying militarized policing, and shrinking international aid, Latin America's KRE landscape remains one of the most volatile in the world. Moving to Africa, where kidnapping, ransom and extortion threats are conducted by an array of threat actors, including terrorist groups, armed militias, criminal networks and increasingly state actors. 6 of the 10 most terrorism-affected countries in 2024 were in sub-Saharan Africa, with the Sahel remaining the global epicenter. The withdrawal of Western counter-terrorism support has left a power vacuum, with terror groups like Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab, and Islamic State affiliates poised to expand their operations. Organised crime also plays a defining role. The DRC, Nigeria, and South Africa rank among the 7 highest-risk countries globally for criminality, with both sophisticated and opportunistic kidnappings on the rise. Criminal gangs target business figures and foreign nationals, often exploiting digital ransom payments. Meanwhile, state-led detentions are accelerating, particularly in North and West Africa, where authoritarian governments and military juntas have cracked down on opposition and free media. 21 African nations saw their freedom scores decline, and ACLED reported a 54% increase in state-led abductions throughout 2024. With worsening economic conditions and declining Western aid, Africa's kidnapping landscape is set to deteriorate further. Finally, we turn to the Middle East. The kidnapping, ransom and extortion risk landscape in the Middle East is unique, in that many incidents are motivated by ideology rather than by a desire for financial gain. Conflicts and instability in Syria, Iraq and Yemen have created an environment conducive to the spread of abductions carried out by 2 main threat actors, rebel groups and authoritarian states. Rebel groups like the Houthis in Yemen and Kataib Hezbollah in Iraq have targeted foreign nationals for political leverage, while Palestinian militants' unprecedented abduction of 251 people in Israel in October 2023, while highly unlikely to be repeated, underscores the highly unpredictable nature of such incidents. In Turkish-occupied Syrian territories, kidnappings for ransom or political motives remain common, especially in regions like Afrin. State detentions also contribute significantly to the risk, with Saudi Arabia detaining over 2,300 individuals in 2023 without charges. Finally, autocratic practices are widespread in the Middle East, with unlawful detainments common. In January 2025, a British couple was arrested and charged with espionage in Iran, highlighting the ongoing risk for foreigners in the country. Iran often uses detained foreigners as leverage in negotiations, and with persistent geopolitical tensions, further detentions are highly likely. We hope our SPS Global Insights report has been of value and urge you to read the full report for a comprehensive overview of the SPS Kidnapping, Piracy and Ransom Bulletin. Stay tuned for next month's edition.